Well, boys and girls, it is that time. I'm about to take off here to go to our meeting point where we're all jumping off from, so see who's all's there, see if everybody's loaded up. Plan is to leave at noon. It's about 10:30 now, so should get us down there about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Plenty of daylight left to unload, get the camper set up, whatnot. So got Teeter is down at mom and dad. She knew something was up because she was acting real nervous last night while I was packing. She kept fiddling with the clothes and stuff I laid out on the bed, and I just put her down in her cage because she's not to that point where we trust her in the house yet by herself, and she was crying real bad. So this is gonna be the longest she's been away from me since I got her. It's gonna be, see how she acts Sunday when I get back. But anyway, it's that time to get on the road. Here we are. Made it without incident, other than the trailer lights on Mark's trailer started messing up. That was interesting. So we got him in the middle so that we didn't have any issues with the law. The interesting part is we made it just in time for a thunderstorm. Although it does look like it's starting to break up, so maybe it'll peter out before it gets here or go north of here. I haven't had a chance to check the radar and see what it's actually doing. But we let the campers get ahead of us, so hopefully they're down over in the campground getting set up. And we are gonna roll in here, start getting unloaded. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. And here we go. Well, here we are, day one. I'm just gonna roll this in with, of course you know this by now, with the getting down here part, so I didn't really get enough good footage to make that its own video. I we got the disc unloaded first thing this morning. Sorry I didn't get video of it. It all kind of happened at once. We were gonna unload it last night, but we got here and, we got here, got everything unloaded. I got the tongue and everything put on a disc. I was gonna pull over in front of the loading dock and jackknife up to it and just pull the disc off sideways. Well, actually, this guy right here with this detach, or with this tilt deck, had a John Deere 4430 on there, fully weighted. Had 3 sets of wheel weights and a full rack of suitcase weights. Fully weighted 4430 with a cab. And he had backed up to loading dock. Why you would unload on a loading dock with a tilt deck, I don't know. But Ryan and I were Tyler and I were standing there talking next to my trailer, waiting for this guy to get done, and we're sitting there watching him, and he starts backing up. And as soon as he got the weight to the back of that trailer, it picked the ass of that truck off the ground about 3 foot, slid the whole thing forward, away from the loading dock. The ass end of the tractor fell off the trailer. The quick hitch set down on the loading dock, and there he sat. He couldn't go forward, backward, nothing. So, like 30 minutes of jacking around later, we got him situated, and by that point I said piss on it. So, this morning I was gonna do the same thing. I was getting ready to get on the loading dock, and I was waiting for another guy. Next thing I know, there was a guy next to me with a telehandler pointing at it. So I was like, okay. So it all kind of happened at once, but we set it off with a telehandler. So I think they got a lot of tractor, not a whole lot of spreader. But anyway, we're gonna go over and find some grass and get the disc unfolded and everything. Looks about like a 101 to me. I'll get more video of the static display and stuff later. That's a lot of area to cover. got the disc unfolded. I feel like a famous person. For like the last hour I've been talking non-stop to people that watch the channel, so that's been kind of neat. But I noticed they're starting to pick over here, so I figured, I don't know if they're just going to take the end rows off or if they're actually going to pick, but I'll try to catch a few of them anyhow. If we can mosey through all the golf carts. It ain't too tough. It rained most of the night here last night. About cute as can be. Typical farmhouse rattle, the teeth are wore out. It's just what they do. That's a clean old New Idea picker. Looks like about a number 10 maybe. Well, they got all the end rows off. Plugged her up already. That boy got something slipping bad. Wooden gravity wagon, that's interesting. That's kind of neat. Oliver 3, that's kind of an odd picker to find. And an Oliver flare box. Got to come in and pick up where the deer couldn't make it. Figures. That's a nice 880. Clutch engaged, that would have made a mess in a hurry. You got her. I could not imagine picking corn without live power takeoff. That would suck. To push the corn over. there's an interesting picker. I gotta have these guys pick a row over, so if that guy with that left-hand deer picker can come through and pick a row. You got the 12-0 with the super picker. Got a straw chopper. Never knew that. That's kind of neat. pretty much back to the beginning. They must have went around for a second pass. They're doing it odd this year. Normally they take that backfield off and save this one for later, but they're taking this one first. They got to get some corn off so they can get the guy's plow on, so they're just going to let them do this whole field. So I guess we'll see what the day brings next. Well, it doesn't sound like we're going to do any disking or anything until after lunch, so I want to walk down here and grab a water, so I figure I'm heading that way. We'll kind of mosey on through the shellers and stuff that are down here. There's not really a good way to video a Rand tool. It's not a pain in the ass as far as editing. You can have a whole video of corn pickers, you can have a whole video of combines, you can have a whole video of plowing. In my mind, it's just easier to go day by day and say, hey, this is what I did today, this is what we're doing tomorrow. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Kind of break things up a little bit. It might end up kind of long, but nobody said you got to sit down and watch it in one sitting either. And when I edit it, I might decide to break it up. So my intros and introductions might get kind of weird. We shall see. Look at some of this Cub stuff real quick. That's kind of neat. Fast hitch Cub Gangmore. That's really neat. It'd be cool to have one of them for my yard. Except mine didn't have a fast hitch. I'd have to get my sister's. Little rotary hoe. Some of this, like that and that, I gotta believe you better have some weight hanging on the nose of that thing, because Cubs aren't all that heavy. That two-way probably needs some weight for that. Huh. Cub with a loader. A power unit. Whisker planter. Never seen a fast hitch buzzsaw. That's kind of neat. That thing works. Probably not too many of them running around working anymore. I don't even know what model it was. I couldn't really read it all that great. Looks like 50 something. An IH guy might know better. Love the smell of drying corn. Just something about it, it's got kind of a, I don't know, it's one of the things you almost got to experience. Drying corn, plowed ground, there's just something about it. Damn, look at this super. factory 3-point. Never mind. I was excited for a minute. Pretty straight old wagon. McCormick. Well, they pull all the dry shelled corn in these gravities, and then like once or twice a day they have semis come in and load them out, haul it off to the elevator. Or not gravities, grain carts. Definitely not a gravity. Nice old Deere elevator. That's a big bastard too. You were moving some corn if you bought that thing. I wonder if that hydraulic motor's factory. All the paint, man, the welds don't necessarily match though. Good idea. It might be factory, maybe a Deere gal know better. And then they got spreaders here, and off the shellers they dump all the shelled cobs into the spreaders and they spread it back out on the field and moldboard them in. Moline, I'm guessing Super D, with one hell of a drag. Damn, that's a lot of drag. That's a later one too. That's probably really late 50s, early 60s, judging by that the script of the Moline. It does still have red trim, so probably late 50s, probably like M5-ish series, or no, it'd be like 4-star, 5-star Jetstar series. .856 Versi. Must be a Series 1. I don't know. There is a... Oh, designation 6. It's one of the last ones. Then you got a truck mount sheller. Mounted on 64 1700 Lodestar 345 V8. Oh, it's actually a Cook brand sheller. Never heard of them. All hydraulic drive, mounted on a new chassis. $17,000 complete unit in 64. 350,000 to 950,000 bushel annually during the 80s. Least amount shelled in one day, 250 bushel for feed. Most shelled in one day, 15,500 bushel. That's neat. That's a big ass sheller, boys. It's crazy. It's all hydraulic drive. That's you were high tech back in the late 60s to be all hydraulic. spare drag chain. Your whole tail section is mounted on this swing. Huh. Homemade rotary screen. That's cool. That must be your on-off valve right there. Oh, there's another one. We'll look at that in a second. Let's go over here. Another little Moline. This one might be an E. Seems like their letters are backwards. Seems like a D is bigger than an E. Oh, this one's for sale. Oliver running gear. Okay, I got it backwards. Apparently an E is bigger than a D. I thought Moline had them reversed. Cute little shelter though. Cook Special. But it's got a white chute on it. So I wonder if they use white parts, because white made a 1210 sheller. Designed and built by Cook Machine Co., Washington, Illinois, 5180. So that's got me wondering. I'm wondering if they use white parts and built a sheller out of it. I wonder if they did all the hydraulic drive conversion and whatnot. Neat. Mobile corn crib. That's a nice truck right there. R160. Holy cow. Someone's got some money in that. This is definitely no Chevy. She's seen a little bit of rust in her day. Huh, that's neat. Interior is surprisingly clean. A little tear in the seat, but not that bad. Whoever had her took care of her. She was used, but she was taken care of. Another little mobile corn crib. This is crazy. You park your tractor up on blocks and you got like a treadmill roller type thing right there, and you drive it, you put the tractor in gear, lock your your immobile wheel with the brake, and it sits there and it runs that, and that takes the power off the jack shaft, and that's how they run their elevator. I saw that last time I was down here, and that looked sketchy to me, because what happens if the tractor gets away? But I'm guessing that that's fairly old, well, judging by the fact the way the universal joints are built. That's probably back before a lot of tractors were built with power takeoff, or any sort of standard power takeoff. Little 110? Yep. 110 with a factory power takeoff. Makes you wonder where guys find all this old shit. Like, that elevator had to have been just sitting in somebody's barn for years untouched to have that patina and not be all rusted to hell. That is just amazing. Patented 1905. Other patents pending, so that's at least 110 years old, boys and girls. Raise the elevator from the truck a short distance before shifting over with lever. Lower elevator and derrick before changing the length of reach. Before changing the length of reach. Apparently you can slide it forwards and backwards, maybe? I don't see how. Interesting. And they got a power jack running off of a deer hit and miss.
Yeah, that is
While we're down here, we'll walk around the right real quick, since there's nobody around it and it's out in the open. Detroit power. I quit before I made a mess. The problem I kept running into is these blades obviously still have most of the paint on them because that muck's not very abrasive. And this ground down here sucks for trying to scour any wear parts. And the mud is sticking to that damn paint, and then the corn stalks are sticking to the mud and balling up in the disc. So hopefully be able to run after they plow it and I ain't got to deal with the stubble. If I'd have known how that was going to turn out, I would have went over to my uncle's and disced a bunch of that wheat stubble and got them disc blades shined up, and it'd probably be a different story. But well, it is what it is. Alrighty, well, since I left you last, not a whole lot's happened. I went up and got lunch, and about the time I got lunch, a rainstorm rolled through. And after that, I went and perused the flea market and spent a bunch of money that I shouldn't have spent, but I found some cool stuff, so we'll show that later. But I can't believe they came out here and plowed on them. They did not disc it, it's still moldboarded. I'm guessing that means it was sticky. And I want to see what it looks like. I should be able to run once they get that corn stubble off. I screwed up. If I'd have known it was going to rain, I'd have took the 19 and the disc over earlier this week to my wheat stubble and started discing over there and got them blades good and shined up, and we probably wouldn't be fighting this issue. But that damn paint on them blades not being scoured up, and anybody that's ever been down here to this show knows this ground is about like gumbo. Sticks like glue to anything it touches. Oh, this is gonna be, oh, that's like a slab of concrete. You can tell them guys were pawing coming through here. This was greasy. Well, they took a couple rounds with the four-wheel drives over there and they had to quit because they kept spinning out. But maybe my morning, oh boy, this is gonna be one rough riding son of a bitch. But hopefully by morning be able to do some discing. I'm gonna be really disappointed if I fight that thing plugging the whole time. Can't understand. I know why it'd be plugging on the stubble, because of the stubble's tough and it's sticking to the mud that's sticking to the blades. But I got all my scrapers, they're all adjusted right. I shouldn't have any issues plowing this or discing this. So time will tell. But anyway, I don't even know what time it is. Probably need to find my peoples. 6 o'clock. I guess I'm gonna mosey on up and see if there's any food places still open, possibly get some dinner. We will see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully actually get to do a little discing, because I've met a lot of people today that wanted to see me do some discing and I had to disappoint them. But I could have kept trying, but I was just going to keep making a mess and I wasn't having any fun, so I just quit while I was ahead. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.